I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is August 8th, Friday, 2025. Hope you had a good day, good week, and we called it yesterday again. Can't be made up. We talked about, I would like to just see this push straight up, right? I give options of coming down here, but that wasn't really in the cards. Why? Because of the fact that we have order flow up, and it's just making a new high. This was already a big retracement. Cool. We'll keep it simple. And we talked about going up. So that's exactly what happened. I'm going to go straight to a one-in shot done deal today. I mean, you can't beat it. Now, the one thing I did wasn't able to mention was when we made that high in Thursday, and I made the high from that high to the range of the week. Okay, for right here, this is what this right here. You see this over here? You can see the 20 to 40%. So we literally made a high and then retraced back to 40% of the weekly range. I mean, damn, but nearby the tick. I didn't mention that yesterday. But as you can see, we dipped into a 4-hour imbalance right there. On a 1 hour, it's also refined. But and we popped up and we used that. Now in the 15-minute here, you see this. We used that gap as support. I mean, also by the tick. Okay, so this is not random. All right, a lot of people, a lot of retail traders, they think a lot of this is random. It's not. But just played it very smooth. Now, when I'm gonna make this video short too, if I can, but you'll see that we made this drop right here, and we tagged. So by the way, the daily open today is literally laying. The center of it is 50% of the high. It's perfect. All right, it's algorithmic. And what did they do? Well, they came down and they hit this liquidity here, but they didn't take them out. It's about the 25% here. Okay, and then we come up, and then pre-930 drops, which transferring to the 1 minute. We tag it there and there. Then we get this boner candle right there. You love to see that. And then you're thinking to yourself at 930, well, is it going to come down and sweep these guys and get into here? And that's fine. That's logical. But it stayed empty, and it's empty for a reason, because it's a breakaway imbalance, meaning it's going to stay empty, because that's the sign of strength. Why? Because also they built liquidity here. Them coming down here and wiping out the Asia low was enough. And then you're coming back into real time here. Also, you can see me projecting from here to here, that swing right there, right, that we made yesterday, that beautiful buy, but took that swing, and then we were already in a 101.5 when we all this price action here. And then where's 2 to 2.5? Obviously, you have the previous daily's high, and you have the first imbalance of yesterday. You're going to see how fire this works out. But first imbalance of yesterday, and that's a 930 level, obvious shit. Plus this liquidity from Asia and, pre-New York, right? So now that I've set the stage, I'm over here and I'm like, okay, is it going to come through and tag this or not? Get the boner candle. So we get a low, we get a high, we get a lower low, and we bust through. So that's a shift in the structure. So I'm highlighting this, okay? You can see the projections here, 1 to 1.5, 2 to 2.5, and 3.5 to 4, okay? Now, forget the targets real quick. I'm already bullish. I'm already said I'm bullish, and I'd like to be bullish. We're obviously up here. I don't expect it to sink to hell from here, right? But where is the writing on the wall? So I get this. You get this imbalance right here, and we're digging into it. We're digging into it, and then we're outside of it. And I'm like, nah, that doesn't look good, right? But it is a intermediate term high. If this is a long term high, you have 2 higher lows above it, but that's not really the gist. The gist is it hits it, tags that daily open. That's just for the people who were able to break out here. When I saw this, I was like, this is just fucking strong. Was patience paid today. But this imbalance, you can see now the bodies. Forget this out here. The bodies are now respecting it, and it's popping up. I said, okay. So then, and you get the last down candle. Look at the bodies are at above 50%. That's also a good sign. But okay, I'm not doing nothing yet. 930. Just the opening range gap is this level, this size. When it's this small, it generally gets filled. So at 9:30, just pushes straight up, and I'm like, I had FOMO kicking in. I'm like, oh, dude, you're missing the move, right? I was patient. I said, okay, cool. I have this imbalance here. I said, maybe they'll come. Let's get a retrace back in. It comes to the 50 initially right here. Tags it with this blue candle. I get entered in here. Pushes up, and then it comes back down. I get stopped out immediately because I don't need to be in the trade. Stop loss is below that low. Boom. Get stopped out. Comes and hunts. It seals the whole opening range gap to the tick. And where does it come? It comes to that 50% perfectly on the head of that imbalance I have highlighted. It's to the tick, buddy. Okay? Boom. As soon as it tags it, I already know buying it. It's a higher low. You already had this shift here. So we pushed up, we retraced back. Then we have another high, keeping it simple for a higher low. I get filled at the 25% level here of that. And then, boom, it snaps back and closes. It cannot get any more perfect than that. That's exactly what I want to see if I'm bullish. Now look at the bodies are sitting back in this imbalance. You're going to say, well, the imbalance didn't work. It went outside of it. It's reclaimed. They get used still. This is coloring outside the lines. This is manipulation. But the bodies here are now the signature of saying it's working. Man, shoot straight up. That's the midnight level, by the way, here. See that? We pop above it. Almost hit it. Last down candle right here. Gets tagged. Pushes up. First imbalance of the session. We come above. Dip into that imbalance perfectly. You don't even want to see it go below her. Shooting off. We are in a 1 and a 1.5 of what I measured here. Okay. I also measured this swing from low to high that it came back from. And over here I have the 1 and 1.5, and 2 to 2.5 up there. Okay. Before I continue the flow, what's my targets? My minimum target here is this circle. Why? Well, because it's a 2 to 2.5. I'm blowing above the Asia and pre-New York. So that's not even the minimum. My minimum is pushing up. But I have to go to it. When I made the circle here, nothing's changed. When I made the circle here, look to the left. You see? Oh shit. Still pushing up, bitch. I fucking knew it, dude. So when I'm pushing up, look at the circle here. Look to the left. It's the 930 level. I'm highlighting that on purpose. To the left, see that? Now on the top of this circle is what? Is that first imbalance from yesterday. I want to tag that. We did that right here. Okay? Then I understand we have 3.5 to 4. As you can see, I have the next circle there, and it's the low. It's the low is that -4. But look to the left. What's also -4? You see that? It's that first standard deviation positive right there. So I have the projection here. I also have the -2, and I would love to reach that and the high, but guess what? I'm squeezing out. So it doesn't matter. Oh, well, before I go. So that's the circle I'm highlighting is at -4. Plus you have the -1 to 1.5. So I want to get in there. And then the high of this circle is, look to the left, is that wick to the left over here. That's the open. It's the rejection wick. Possibly. Who knows if it's sold off. I'm not saying it would because it's still, obviously this is super easy and birdie bullish. So that's perfect. And that's exactly what I did here. And once I get to my target, I squeeze out to what I wanted to aim. Look to the left of the chart. I'm trying to get there, and that's it. Guess what? One and done. Yeah, I took a little loss. It's no big deal. I caught what I wanted to do. I came to do what I wanted to do. And it's Friday. So I decided to be done. Right all before 9:50. Look at that. Look at the time, because I don't want the macro kicking in and all that. And I'm finished. Beautiful day, early day, and did exactly what I said we were going to do the day before. So I'm literally following a plan. I'm saying this shit the day before. So you know I've been doing this for a while. Anyways, let me show you where I wanted to get back in and be involved, but I was like, nah, you're straight. Leave it alone. Watch the fire. You're going to learn a lot in this video. Got out, squeezed out right there, right? Retrace back. Wicks in hard into the imbalance right there. You got to include the gap. Didn't hit the 50% or the open of this down candle, but it did hit the candle. And it wicked, and that was it. And then it held. And as you see, the higher lows, boom, tap, and then took off. And I was like, bro, take this buy. Take it. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm done. I'm not trying to get involved for an extra range or whatever. But it's okay. What did it do? It pushed up one more time. Up 2 to 2.5. Up. We took out the previous day's high right there. See that? Took out the previous day's high here. We pull back. Look at the pullback. This is this inversion. I got it in blue. And I was like, bro, take it. It's moving so easy. I'm like, no, I'm having fun not doing anything. Right there in a smaller time frame, it was a bearish imbalance, but you see it wicks right into that inversion. It closed below it. So that's already a market I already know it's going to retrace back. And then you had that bearish imbalance right there. We tagging it. We push down. When we push down here, hold on, because the 5 minute wasn't the 5 minute, it was the 15 minute. Sorry. So look at the 15 minute. I'm going to draw it because I did not, and I didn't need it. But let's just draw it real quick so I don't get lost in this. That's when this pullback came, like right here. It was hitting that 15 minute imbalance. It was a 15 minute imbalance, right? I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete it. And on a 5 minute, I'm giving you fire. You don't even know it. On a 5 minute, we're talking about right here. Forget this yet. It came and hit the open of this last down candle on a 5 minute. See that? That's exactly what it was doing. So then it bought again. So this was obviously, you see me get out here, right? So drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. That leg is finished. Yeah, I got out early. 3. Then what does it do? Pulls back. 1, 2. And what is it pulling back into? Back to that 15 minute. I'm going to draw it now. But you're not going to believe this. So it came back in. That's that 15 minute. Came back in. Okay. And bought for a new high. So drive 1, 2, 3. Pull back 2. All right. Kind of a little breakout area. Pushes up. But what is this area here? All right. You're going to see. You're going to see. And that's why I was like, oh, dude, take it. But I didn't. So that first imbalance from yesterday, let me just keep squeezing it over. Wow. Wow. So when I targeted up here, we came back and we dipped right on top of that first imbalance. Look at that. Look at that. Then it came up. That's why usually when I'm taking a buy and I usually get out, I would buy this again because I know it's a birdie day and I'm going to go for drives. So this is push up 1. It retraces. This is a healthy retrace. Forget that. Forget that. And we're above these previous highs here. So we'll count. This is a retrace. Push up 2, a retrace, and push up 3. So usually it's 3 buys. So push up 1 and get out. Let it retrace back. Buy again. Number 2. Let it retrace. Buy again. Number 3. You got 3. Now it comes down for 3 drives here. 1, 2, 3. Well, whatever. The point is that they induce, you have liquidity inside, and it comes back. They always, in a leg, you'll always also have, or if we're going to measure, let's just measure You could even do it from this fucking low, I think. Was it there? It's retracing it. It's not a 50 right there. But let me move it to here. And you'll see where it ticks away. Right? But that's just the basic understanding of the retracement. When you have that range, you'll have the higher lows above 50% that they're looking to kind of take out. That's what they're doing. But if I take away this completely, that 15-minute imbalance, do you think that's by accident? So even when it bounced here, I was like, bro, just take the buy and go for the daily. Why not? But I was so comfortable and content. I was like, nah, because today was at first this is a little funky price action. You're like, dude, what the fuck's gonna happen? I'm not fucking with this. So with that logic and it being Friday, I was like, be patient and wait. But then I accomplished this beautiful trade and said, you know what? I'm done because of the fact that it was a blessing to be done anyway. So that's just a decision. But right there, I was like, take the buy. Didn't do it. Okay, came back in. This was I drew that also. Well, this was a 5-minute, but if you take a look at this last down, you can see on a 1 minute too. But this was the last body here. This 951 macros kicking in, by the way. But it came down to tag that, then it pushed up. You have that imbalance right there, the bullish one right there. Always include the gaps. You'll see it tag in, boom, comes above. Now it sits right on that bearish imbalance that was using to push down. Now it's using it for support. Do you see it? Do you need to take a look at it? Like, look at the bodies. Look at tags it right there. Boom, pushes up. Then speaker time. Right, that's what this is, speaker time. So you're gonna see some type of speaker in this scenario, and it pretty much did. It took it out by a hair, right? So that's a speaker. But when it retraced back, 50%, dude. It's literally it's off by a tick, one tick, not a handle, a tick, right? That's perfect. All right. Do you think that's random? So they set this up. That's why people think this is your support resistance. No, man, the algorithmic delivery is creating this structure and flow. Yes, so you can see it, but also, yeah, let me tell you, when this shit hit here, dude, I was like, oh my God. I was done at 9:47. And, it's pushing up until 10:30, and then it's retracing back already for the retrace into London close. What am I going to sit here till London close and then stay into lunch just to come back up? I just don't need to be involved. But when I had this confirmation, I was like, bro, it can't be that easy. Boom, boner candle. I was like, no way, bro. I just left it alone, but it was fun tape reading. And then what did it do? It made another drive, retraced back. Where we have this last down. You have this down candle right here with an imbalance. You have a support right here. Common price action popped up again for a new high. So if I squinch this up, where's the real 3 drives? Push up 1, retrace. Push up 2, new high, retrace. Push up 3, retrace. Push up 4 for the finale, right? So beautiful, right? And then this is very typical. Obviously I'm not trading all day. I'm not involved. I just got back just to do the video. I'm doing it late, but I wanted to make sure I did the video. Look where we ended up. 3.5 to 4, right? And it's on its way up, just to make obviously all new highs, all-time highs. And then also when I'm here, I say, well, where's the imbalance and liquidity? Well, there's liquidity imbalance right there, and then there's liquidity and imbalance right there. Okay, see that? And that's where we're bullish, so we're going to the top side, right? Just beautiful. And kept it simple. And that was it, man. I don't know how else I could say it. But we also had that funky price section I was telling you before 9:30. We had lower lows here, by the way, with Nas, and we had higher lows with Dow and S&P. That is what also gave me the push up. While it was pushing up, Dow made a lower low here, and S&P and Nas were going up. We're already on and the majors were going up, so whatever. The push back down before we got to this funky action was lower highs with an Dow and higher highs here. So that pushed it down while it was going up, and then it made that this top here before it retraced. Lower highs with Dow, higher highs here, and then it sold back off. Once we came back down, Dow made a lower low again. This is why I don't trade fucking Dow. Look at this. Imagine if you were bought here from 930 and that price came all the way below you and then came all the way back up. This is why we don't trade it, but that's a divergence. And did it buy from there? Yes. Just fire, dude. I wish every day was like that. It's so fucking beautiful. And consolidating here. Who cares? Dow eventually comes back up. Why? Well, you have imbalance here. So came down to wipe out buyers, pushed up to wipe out sellers, speakered out, came down to wipe out buyers, came back up to wipe out sellers. Very simple. Very simple logic. Look at this shit. Why would anybody want to trade this, bro? Fuck that. But the manipulation I learned from Dow. I mean, it doesn't get any more manipulated than that besides forex. And that was my, look at this, sealing it to the tick. That's fucking awesome. You think that's random too? Nope. And then S&P came down for wipeout buyers. Now we're coming up to wipeout sellers, and this is what we expected, right? Left that empty, which sucks. That was good for us that we ended up having a sealment. And yeah. Look, I mean, if you look at the difference between everything else and Nas, it's this night and day difference. Look at this speaker here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just not as beautiful. And yeah, I should have marked more on my 1 hour, but so yeah, like I said, we made the high on Thursday. We pulled back into, look at 40%. Tags it. It's crazy. Beautiful. That hour imbalance. We were also on the hour, we were good enough because we sat inside this imbalance right here. Top quadrant of that gap. Who's got this gap on their chart? Who's got this gap on their chart? I doubt it. Right? And what's that? Support. Top quadrant showing bullishness. Refined at 1 hour. You wouldn't have really noticed that on a smaller time frame. And dude, boom, going up, getting into the wick. 50% could be a target. And then beautiful measurements here. And then I also had if I measured this guy here. I know I measured it. Yeah, sorry, I know that looks crazy. Here, right? So this was actually the real swing. Let's see what happens here. So I did this as a refined area, but this is actually the lower high to lower low. Let's see what that looks like now. Oh, I don't have it on the 1 hour. Let me change this real quick. So I make videos long. It is on the 1 hour. Huh. Oh, it's this one. Yeah. All right. Cool. Right? No, I measured over here. Yeah. Oh, look at a coincidence. All down candles. Look at it, 2 to 2.5. Look at it, 2 to 2.5. We hit the 2 beautifully on Thursday, which over here we had the 2 to 2.5 as well. And then we came down, and then now we're sitting at the 2.5. Right? Yeah, obviously not necessary because this was kind of like what's in control. We popped up to the 1 and 1/2, retraced back. Came to the 2 to 2.5, retraced back where? Back into the 1 and 1.5. You have to understand that that's fractal. That happened even today. So, just like right here, when I projected this swing here, all right, 1 and 1.5, came to the 2, all right. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies on the 15-minute. Look how the bodies, yes, it goes outside the 2.5, but look at the bodies sitting by 2.5. You see that on the 15-minute? That's not coincidence. What does it do? Comes back into the 1 and 1.5. See that? That's all not random. So fire. This is like the beautifulest market I've ever seen. Anyone says anything different, they don't have enough experience. So, anyways, and that was so once we already came back down into 40% of the weekly range, then it has another opportunity to go back up. And that's why I'm not worried about being bullish today as well, by the way. And I'm not expecting for it to make a high and then sell back in, which it could have. But as you see, their objective is the high and this breakout shit right here. Breakout guy. Boom. So, dude, what else can you say? And then I don't even need to show you what's next if it's bullish. I mean, you can see the all-time high in the 3.5 to 4. That would be from the bottom of this leg. And then we'll discuss there. And that's why I gave the examples of what I gave. All right, this isn't random. Fucking fire. As you see, yeah, pushing up a little bit. So we're melting up. Been saying it for a while. And they decided to go with either the 5 or the 30 year. The 15 year, I kept saying it all this week that if it was to come down and rate again, that would be more like the 15 year. But the 30 and the 5 year are showing really bullish once they take off from here. And I was talking about it being bullish by the 10th, since Friday's the 8th, 9th, 10th, that's Sunday, Monday's the 11th, and then we discuss new ideas. But what I'm expecting from here is, I've already outlined it, but if I was to just push up here, let's just say we creep up here, and then we get to the 3.5 to 4, and then if it's the 5 year, it'll come down really hard. I'm sorry, the 15 year. If it's the 30 year, so 15 years down here, right? So you can go ahead and mark it. It's supposed to take out that low, is what I'm telling you, literally. Okay, that's assuming that we make a new high or really higher, but somewhere in this vicinity, the 15 year shows it coming back. If it's the 30 year or the 5 year, it's bullish from where it is now, and then like as you see me drawing, and then what it'll do is it'll retrace back into some shit like this before the last 10 days of the month of September, and then we do another push up, and we end up closing for September, and then not September, August, and then September will pull back again. It'll be a speaker in itself, and we'll talk more about it from there. But this is the general gist of what I'm expecting. So I don't think I've missed anything now. I've said everything I wanted to say, right? I'm always missing something. And then notice that 4-hour imbalance. We were here originally. I'm just going to drag it out real quick. Originally right there, the big, ooh, look at this. So we were inside that 4-hour, right? Because the bodies were looking a little funny on the 4-hour right there. But take a look here. You'll see that if I dragged it out, we pushed above it, we came below it, and then look at this, 936. Boom, right on it. Now we're above it. So you want to see that, and that's reclaimed as well. Look. Look how much I stretch it out. It's perfect, dude. Bruh. So that's that 4-hour, and this is the same example I'm saying as it being reclaimed. You're going to say, oh, well, it went through and you used it. It doesn't matter. It's just like this. It's just like this imbalance here. We went through it, right? But they reused it. And that's what you want to see in a bullish scenario. Fucking fire, bro. I don't think I'm missing anything, man. Everything else is just like, and by the way, this bearish imbalance right here, see this big candle? We pop in and there's a breakout level with that low. That was the start of this, the retracement. It's just fire, dude. The price action, I'm telling you, reading it is just beautiful. But this right here, man, dude, this right here is fire. I don't know what else I can say. 30 minutes. You guys take care. Have a good weekend. God bless.